you're still on to the Politicos on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio, where we talked about things that are going on around politics in Nigeria and beyond. Not to bother you, let's quickly talk on the new bill that has been signed by the new president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Tinubu. Now, the students are liable to get a loan. Should we call it education loan?
It's called student loan.
Student loan, which is welcomed by some people and has gotten different reactions from people. But firstly, before we discuss on it, just let me read out some facts that we need to understand regarding this loan. All applicants must apply through the chairman of the bank. That is one of that. Applicants or family income shall be less than 500,000 per annum, which means that any family that is applying for this, anybody that is applying for this, the person or the family, talking about the father or the mother, should be earning like 500,000 per annum. That is one of the requirements. Each applicant must provide to guarantor who must be a civil servant with at least 12 years experience is part of the requirement. Process and disbursement of the loan shall be made in 30 days. I think that is quite good. But there is one here that I want us to, repayment of the loan shall commence 2 years after the completion of the applicant's NYSC program. Those are the key of the requirements that it's needed to get this loan from the federal government. Fisayo, what do you see to this loan? Do you think this can fly in this country?
Well, I think most have forgotten that this bill did not start from this dispensation. This bill was approved in this dispensation, and it is not the first of its kind. If you are a student of politics in Nigeria, you will know that sometimes former General Yakubu Gowon started this. He called it Federal Student Loan. That was in the 70s, where he gave opportunity for students to borrow for tuition fee, expenses, and approve tuition fee, dues, and approve expenses. Then, there was a time where there was crisis in the education sector in Nigeria. I think 1978 precisely, where there was issue of Ali must go. Then it was a fight was put up that welfare of students should be inclusive of the loan.
Should it be the tuition fee alone?
It should not. Yes, in Yakubu Gowon's tenure, it was tuition fee, dues, and approved expenses. For example, tuition fee. If school is telling you have to pay X, Y, Z, it's your tuition fee. There are some dues, departmental dues. Maybe you are coming back from holiday and there was crisis. They will tell you acceptance fee. Those are not tuition fee. They are dues. It was approved during General Gowon.
But this wasn't attached to this.
Now, that is where I have issues, and that is where I'm going. Also, in that of Yakubu Gowon, there was approved expenses. That is, I want to go. Then they serve food in school. I want to eat morning and night. It's 500 naira per meal, 1,000 naira. That is approved expenses. You can't go to school without eating. Those will be inclusive of your loan given by General Yakubu Gowon. Now, in the past, in the night assembly, this motion was moved.
Yes, by the then speaker.
Yes, this motion was moved. Now, on June 12th, the new president, President Bola Tinubu, approved this. And from most quarter, we are saying thumb up. But if you look at the details of this loan, I don't want to be sounding like somebody who do not see good in most of our move by the government officials. However, we do not need to celebrate a Greek gift.
So it doesn't call for celebration yet.
Yes, a Greek gift is a gift you are using one hand to give to me to take, and in the other hand you have a plank that you back up bongo that way I take it and you hit it with me. With this loan approved by the President Bola Tinubu, tuition fee will go up. Watch it out.
Majority of our federal institutions.
Yes, government-owned institutions will have to start doing rejig. Don't forget that the standard of the basic things in life it's expensive already. Our cost of living is expensive already. So it's not out of place for the tuition fee to go up also. Now, you're telling me you're going to give me a loan. The loan is basically for tuition fee.
Only tuition fee.
How do I survive in school? How do I move from my home to school if I'm living outside the school? If I'm not living in the hostel? If I'm living in the hostel, how do I pay for the hostel? You said you're going to send me to school, but you told me you're going to pay for my school fees and my books. Would I eat in that school? How do I get to that school? That is not inclusive. Tell me that I'm good. In General Yakubu Gowon's decree, the plan to pay back was for 20 years.
But this is just for 2 years immediately after the completion of NYC.
It's 10, yes. The thing, this one is, if you are done with your 2 years, after your NYC, then the year that follow, you start paying
10%.
Yes, you pay 10% for particular years. And let's look at the criteria. Your parents, the father and mother, cumulatively must be earning like a 500,000 naira annually. A civil servant at level 14 or thereabout must sign for you, and also a legal practitioner. Have you not opened business for those ones?
Even the civil servant should use 12 years in service. Should be 12.
Yes, between 12 and 14 years thereabout.
Yeah.
You not open business for those ones.
Talking about the legal practitioners there.
And even the civil servant. My mother and father sells. My father hawks pop-off. My mother sells pap. And I want to assess this loan. Can I? No.
Definitely,
What that means is it's not for the poor. It's not for the less privileged.
But when we check it very well, the motive behind this bill is just to make things easy for those that are left.
My brother, if you think it is to make it easy, why don't we look like criteria that if you have a landed property,
okay,
or if you have a collateral.
Okay.
Now, if your collateral, your mobile phone can be your collateral. If you have a mobile phone that worth 100,000 naira, the government can borrow me 10,000 naira. There's no how bad my phone will go that you can still sell it for 10,000 naira.
That one is affordable.
That is the kind of project we should be talking about. I want to send you to school. What is it that your parent has? Do you live in a rented apartment? Is the house owned by your parent? If by peradventure you are not able to pay this, can we sell your parent house? We should be looking at, okay, but if you are telling them I need 500,000 naira monthly, how many parents? At what level will I get as a government official to earn a 500,000 naira per annum?
In a country whereby even government work is not there for anybody.
And a country whereby most governors find it very, very hard to pay a 30,000 naira minimum wage. Times 30,000 naira times 12. Is it 500,000?
Up to 500,000.
So we should be asking questions. That somebody has quickly run to go and take paper and paper and sign something and say we are celebrating. Is it for the public? Is it for the less privileged? With the look of things, no. So if we are talking about this bill, well, good one. It is a new government. The government is trying to, but please let people ask questions. Let them ask questions for details before we start going to the street to jubilate for people for the laws that has been signed that we know little or nothing about.
Even as at yesterday, the ASU rally against this decision of the president are complaining about the level of the students that they have in their institution. That is it possible for a student to finish? Well, immediately I graduated from university, I went to go for service. After 2 years, I should start paying back. What is the guarantee
that I'm going to get a job?
The person will get a job.
That is why I said I will always refer to the General Yakubu Gowon administration. In his own decree, it was a decree there. Excuse me. In his own decree, the moment you have that loan, if you come out of school after serving your father's land, I will get you a job. You are owing me. You are not going anywhere. Come and work.
So the government should have provided a place, a platform whereby I will use to return the money I borrowed.
I don't think that is in this new bill. There is no way stated that government is going to provide you a job. But in the one I know before, you will provide you a job. and the government will remove it for a particular period of time. 20 whole years.
But let me just go back a little bit. The administration of Yakubu Gowon, the 20 years to repay back. Even with that 20 years, do you think our people can be faithful with that?
Then or now?
Then. Actually,
it is not a money that will go to you. The way they structured it then was this. You have borrowed. Let's assume you borrowed a 10,000 naira. You are out of school. They got you a job. The government got you a job.
Okay.
And the government will tell you, okay, be paying, this is your salary. Don't forget, they gave you the job. There is a mandate on your account.
They deduct the money directly.
Yes, that the moment the money is landing, you will just see an alert instructing that Mr. Mano, your gbese has been removed. It's not a case where you run to the bank, please don't pay them because your great grandmother fell from palm tree. No, it's statutory. So when the money drop, they remove it. So it goes there automatically. Know that. Come, if you have borrowed 10,000 naira and they've told you you're going to use 1,000 naira per annum,
the government will still remove their money, and you will still
have a whole lot. You still have a whole lot of time to play with. But let's look at this. I've seen in this country of somebody who graduated and 7 years after graduating was when he got a 25,000 naira job.
Not even a government job.
A security job. 25,000 naira. How do you expect that person to pay back if you have borrowed him? He will not even qualify to collect the money. Who is his father and mother? Did they collect 500,000 per annum? How will he assess the loan? No.
So actually the loan is for some special people.
Yes, the implication of what we are doing is this. People will start forging documents to get that loan. And when they forge this document, it will be very hard for government to retrieve the loan. And it will now be an avenue for somebody to start siphoning money.
But if I will get you clearly, that eventually you are the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. How do you think the presidency should have arranged this process of this loan? It's
so simple. I will still make us see. We have antecedents where we can always copy. We have things we've seen before where we can always go back to. Somebody has done it then. Yes, you can say the population of Nigeria then was not as much as this, but it is. We can still imitate it. How do you go about it? Let's do it. Let's make it constituency project for the senators. Senators, make it your constituency project. Go get the data of people around it. Though they too will look for those people who they favor.
There's no way we can run away from manipulation.
No. If we're not careful too, it will become a political party thing. But you can't run away from that. If you put it to the local government, that one you have to make it a party thing. But make it a constituency project for the senators. Go. Let the senators come and submit forms of those who have applied. Let's look at it. Have your criteria. Or make it online. Let every student with a letter of admission come there and damn results. Fill it. Fill your details. Put your father. Put your mother. Or you open a center where they can go and say, I have obtained the form. You can even put a price tag to the form. It's 5,000 naira. Go and get the form. We have Empower here in Nigeria. People collected free money. So people did not go to work.
Even that Empower is another case on its own. You know, when they started this Empower, we have batch A that makes it of 4 years. We have batch B, I think 2 years.
I know of people who still receive Empower money to date and they are working somewhere else.
Which means it's not being monitored by the government.
That is the issue of a football match. Team A and Team B is contesting. And the football match is fixed. And the referee said, oh, you can start the match. And he kicked the ball. And the spectators start jubilating. What are you jubilating for? Who has scored?
Nobody.
Who has won?
Nobody.
So why are we jubilating? Has the electorate won in Nigeria as it stands with this bill? No. Has the government effected it? No. So why are we celebrating? So we should just, when government make policies, let's tell them, oh, let's look at the dream, the initiative behind the dream, the person behind the dream, and how the dream will be achieved. Thumb it up. Nice. Then let's fold our hands and see the way it works out. If it involves us, let's do everything possible to make it work well. But going to rent musicians and dancers for a bill that has been signed, that we don't even know the details of how it's going to be actualized. We shouldn't go down with the ends. We shouldn't. To me, I think it is just a way of getting, impressing the public without giving it a very deep consideration.
And what is not realistic.
Is it what we need now? Do you know how many loans are available for farmers? That the federal government, I see, if you are privileged to know any farmer in the north, call them and I ask them how much are they getting in terms of grants every month. Those guys have opportunity to get grants everywhere. They get money from international organizations. So, and there are ways they pay back. When government is ready to do something, they know how to go about it.
So Nigerians, we should wait for them to draw out the plans and all.
Except if somebody has a convincing argument from the one I have. And the person can put it up to tell me that, oh, this is how this thing is going to work. And this is what I see about it. And this is how I know that it's going to work. Then I can have a change of mind.
One of the reactions we got from some of our people immediately they signed this bill is that majority of the students won't be serious in school as well.
Why?
Because they believe that the loan after NYSA 2 years. Well,
No, I don't.
Because they instead did something when they're paying for WAEC. When they are paying for WAEC, that state decided not to pay that year, that particular year. It called for those that passed to come to the government house with their results and tender it. Once you passed, the government will refund your money back to you.
Well, it is a case of when the foundation is wrong, everything that comes on it can never stand. Can never stand. If you look at way back, when we value education, when government puts so much into education, we don't think this way. We don't. If you know the effort students put up to be able to get to SS3, if you know how government pay for WAEC, and if you see the flying colors these children, these pupils will come out with, you will know that as at that time, education is so valued. Now, let's fast forward to where we are today. Let's go to school premises, government-owned secondary schools. How do they look? What are the qualities of teachers you have there?
The empires.
So, you ask, it's a case of garbage in, garbage out. Yes. You are using an half-baked. You are using an half-baked teacher to teach a student. And you say you want to pay for the WAEC. If you like, go and pay for the sovereignty in somewhere in America. If there is anything like that. And tell them to come and write. They will fail. They will fail. Sometimes, 2 months or a month ago, the West African Examination Council, WAEC, did release that, see, people have even formulated another way of cheating, and that is going to do a robotic site where results are being released or questions are being released before when it is written. That does not put an end to special centers. So how do you want to discourage those who are going to those places? How do you want to encourage those who are ready to read?
Of which our governments are aware of.
See the way our government officers, political officers, to react to students who have the zeal to excel. You will put up a contest, best mathematics student, best English student, best this, and you will say the reward 50,000 naira. But you ask somebody to go and sing, and you tell the person 50 million naira.
People make the person an ambassador.
An ambassador. 50 million naira. And you'll be putting billions of money on those ones, on those things. Then are you encouraging education at all?
If I get you right, which means even our government doesn't celebrate education as expected of them.
Before you talk about the student loan, how well have you encouraged people to go to school? It's so sad that in this generation, before any little thing, you will say, yeah, education is a scam. Have you encouraged them to go to school before you start saying, oh, go and borrow loan?
Even those that are in school, so they are even not seeing that education as important. Even they were in school.
See, when students are in SS3, SS1, you do you know how many of us wanted to become pilots? We want to become pilots. We want to be a medical doctor. Wanted to become this. But when you started facing reality at SS1, SS2, and you write jam and write WAEC, and you are being jammed and WAEC all up and down, you will change. You will change. You will change. But when the desire is so high, and you are being encouraged by government with that desire, there is no way that you will not celebrate this today. So if somebody said, I want to pay for WAEC, let the person pay. Tell them, who are your best students from SS2 to SS3? Select them. When I was in secondary school, we have a competition, mathematics competition called JETS. We have special teachers who take us for that contest.
Even as a student, you will be happy.
We have our third class. We will take further maths. We call it further maths or hard maths then. We will take it. We will go to another class. We are so different from other students that when other students are on break, they take us to the principal's office. We will sit down and they drill us again. In this Ogun State. I did it in Lagos State. When I converted to the Ogun State, it was just the same thing. When we have the opportunity to come out to play with our colleagues, we have been seen as like we're differently created.
They will call you guru.
Then I play volleyball. If I have reason to pull my shirt to play volleyball, if you know how my friends fight to hold my shirts, Jet students. In that instance, am I not encouraging those ones? And because we also, when we were in the junior class, we have seniors like that who we all always look up to. Who do secondary school students look up to now? Yahoo boy.
If as is the case now.
Yahoo boy. So how well have you make education interesting?
And this loan, especially for the secondary, because anybody that graduates from the secondary school is going to institution. They will know what to do for this.
Let's start from the background. Before you give anybody, correct it from the secondary school. Secondary school is always the basic. Primary school is Jeliosimi. When you get to secondary school, that is where you form what you will become in life.
That is where you decide your fate.
Yes. Start from the secondary school. Mandate all governors to make education one of your priority. Get seasoned teachers. Pay them well. Remuneration, incentives, put it there. Let a master degree, a PhD holder, be ready to say, I want to become a teacher in a secondary school. If you make this lucrative, after that school, and you have those who are brilliant, but unfortunately their parents cannot afford going to university, they can quickly approach such loan outfits and borrow.
Shouldn't make it open for everyone, just come.
And borrow. But when, personally, I ask myself, do I want my children in school? Shouldn't it be better if I get a teacher for them and put them at home and teacher come, and when they are trained, I take them to go and sit for WAEC. Tell me, how many jobs have you applied for and they ask for your WAEC results?
None.
So, is this generation not making that success look like a wasted 6 years?
They will always ask for your first degree.
Your first degree. So they're making it look like a wasted 6 years. We have thousands who do not have who do not have WAEC results.
Even some combined results.
See, the initiative of the government to approve other examination councils like NECO and CO, yes, it is good. But it's to make it competitive. But how well have they been able to? How much grip does government has on NECO? As much as they had on WAEC. How well is government controlling this WAEC or NECO?
Even NECO is not being recognized.
Now it is a case of some schools influencing or paying WAEC so that their school will come out in flying colors, so that all parents would know that in that school they usually pass their exam.
Even yes, in fact, that is one of the should I call it people see some private schools as Jesus Center. Immediately your child is there sitting for WAEC.
It will pass in it.
It is not a matter of 5 credits.
No, it's a
9
parallel.
credits, a parallel, which is very short.
And a boy or a girl who has scored a parallel and asks the person, come and solve these simple indices for me. The person will be looking at you. Construct simple sentence. The person will be looking at you. And they say a parallel.
The person may be looking for pen.
And they say parallel. And they say parallel. I visited a school where examination, I don't want to mention what kind of examination. An examination was going on. XS3 students and a teacher was busy writing on the chalkboard.
Even the students
solving,
are so much comfortable that they are bringing it.
Solving the questions one after the other. And the students are busy copying it. A private school. You think you're doing your school a favor? I won't blame those who owns the school. They needed that money. They want that money. They have to do it so that students can come. But I'm scared for the life of those who they are giving those answers to. Because they've given them a shortcut. And do you know where shortcut leads to?
When they get to institutions now,
they can never defend it. They can never defend it. Because they don't even know it. So, I think, well, the bill is fantastic. Thumb up, thank you. But I don't think that is where we should start from. Let's standardize our education from the secondary school. Let's make it interesting. Then make the tertiary institution also interesting. Do you know how many times these people has been fighting ASU for money, for improvement, for dilapidated school structure? Why don't we talk about that first? You are empowering students to go to school, a school that has no conducive learning environment.
No laboratory.
No laboratory. They use the syllabus they've been using in 1920.
Even teachers are not being updated too.
So,
yes. Teachers are not being updated.
Yes. I had a lecturer who took us statistics sometimes, who does not come to the class, to the lecture room with any paper. He will dictate, he will solve. And when I saw my senior who left the school like 10 years ago, they told me that was the same way they were trained by the same lecturer.
The same definition?
Everything.
Everything, the same thing. Of which, that shows that the lecturer doesn't follow the current trends. And it will affect the students.
That lecturer can sleep and recite all that is telling us. And you are empowering one student to go back to that lecturer.
The lecturer is not bringing anything new.
So it is not a first for us. Yes, we want a platform where students can access loans so that they can go to school. But to do what in that school? We should be talking about that school first. We should be talking about the lecturer. We should be talking about how conducive the environment it is for learning before we start talking about how do they go to that school.
Well, it has been a wonderful session with our official today, and our time is fast spent. We've thrown it out to the government to try to check on this bill and do the necessary things as regarding this bill so that it will be convenient for everyone. Regarding the students that we've been told to apply for this, when you're talking about students that doesn't have the power, I don't think 500,000 is something realistic. And all the requirement that is, the government should work on getting a job for anyone that is applying for this loan. Immediately you apply for this loan, there should be a guaranteed job. Immediately after NYC, you have the opportunity to get a job from the government, whereby the government will continue to remove their money. But once that one is not in place, I'm afraid it's more or less like we're sitting on gunpowder. Well, let me appreciate everyone that has joined us on the show today, the Politicos on Al-IyamoyeTV and radio. We'll come here where we talk about another interesting topic with my guest as well. Many thanks to Wale Libidia and Scott. Let me appreciate my colleagues in the house too. I recommend you to maybe they should employ in one of our universities.
We won't be able to talk again.
Or the president should be able to give you an appointment.
We won't be able to talk
Maybe
again.
essay to the president on education.
Hey, only tell nobody. Would you have?
Are you saying apparently that they know the truth?
They have brilliant set of people.
Wow.
Most people in government are brilliant set of people. They know what they are doing. They know reality. They know drama. They know we love drama, so they will always act drama for us.
And we
We love drama, so they will always give us drama, and they know reality. There are some who does not know anything there too. Those who, with the help of godfathers, they've been able to assume that position. I know of those who we did activism together, who I know that some of them, they cannot even lead a group of two, who are either in the House of Assembly or at the National Assembly now. And I asked myself, who were you when we were doing struggles in the 90s?
But I guess those people should be sleeping by now.
But
you don't have some lawmakers that are benchwarmers.
Unfortunately, whether you call them benchwarmers or not, their salary is being paid every time. Their sitting allowances are being paid like even before they sit. Those guys, because they know Godfather, they have been involved in politics for years. They will always get this. But because some of us are like, we don't want to do politics, we will continue to rant on radio or TV like this.
We'll continue to talk.
Because we do not. And that is why the agenda has changed. That we should not just leave it for them alone. We should take the front seat. We should be talking to them and also be participating. And that is when we have the privilege, the opportunity of even becoming a local government chairman, we will change the narratives. So, a time will come where we will have there was a time in this country, I think it was 2015 precisely, when Mogalu contested as a president, a brilliant child. What he had was not as much as those people who live in his house.
And that's something. That's one peculiarity.
The vote he had was not as much as those who live in his house. As it stands, I don't want to say I know the amount of people who live in his house, but let's assume father, him, his wife, 2 kids, maids, driver, 6, 7. Like, he had less than 10 votes.
Believe in his dream.
So who are those people who pushed him to go and do it contest? Which village or what village was he from? Is it that they don't even believe in him? This person has worked in organizations where he has displayed his competency. Do they believe in him? Where are those who believed in him? So for you to know that this person, I think that vote is called less than 10,000. Where are all those who believed in him? Ganifa Wahimi has once contested for the president of his vote. Do you know how many activists we have in this country? Those who voted for him, we are less than 10% of the activists we have. And some of them will be shouting.
I think we have different people with different peculiarities. Their own peculiarities is just to advocate for people.
And when you advocate and you are advocating, you're telling, oh, Wale go. When Wale failed, it is not a time for you to pick Riscott and say, Riscott, go. No. If you truly know that you know it, at that point, push yourself forward. Push yourself forward and tell them. And tell others who have joined you to say, Wale go. Make them understand that Wale has failed. If they believe in you, or there's somebody else, everyone of believing there, that you believe he can all deliver, support the person. It's not a time to say, I'm collapsing my structure for somebody. Which structure?
Structure that doesn't stand.
Your structure that cannot move somebody. We should be changing the game, the narratives in Nigeria as regard politics. If we continue to sit at the backstage, mediocre will continue to govern us. We'll continue, with all sense of humility using that word, they will continue to lead us and will continue to complain. But when we look for competence, we look at brilliance, we look at antecedents. Before sitting here, okay, I was seated here. I stumbled on a video where a former senator was running down another senator, saying, oh, now that you'll not be in the night assembly, we'll meet on the street of Abuja, but I know that you have failed. He said a whole lot. Unfortunately, the same person who he has condemned
on the street of his
state, which is not sure if he's going to win. So before we come out to start saying, oh, this one, politics, you need your sanity to do politics.
Well, it has been an interesting moment in the studio there. Well, time is on our side. We just need to draw the curtain of the show widely here. You can still join us on all our programs on Al-IyamoyeTV and Radio The Voice of the Voiceless. Just help us by subscribing to the page and on the notification button so as to get the notification anytime we're having our programs. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching the Politicos on Al-IyamoyeTV and Radio. Till we meet next week. My name is Moses Okunlola.